Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in about 5 minutes I'll be showing you how to cut a simple senator outfit. Alright, so first of all I'm marking the length, which is 3 inches length and 1.5 inches of depth for the neck. Alright, so in this video, on this other end, that's the armhole side, I'll be going down. That's the depth is going to be 4 inches. I'll be using my free hand to do this cutting. Okay, so now I've made the curve for the neck. I'm now going to join the line from the armhole side to the neck, just exactly as you can see in the video right now. Okay, so I'm now going to cut out the neck. I'm now going to cut out the neck and the armhole. Now remember that this material is folded into two different parts. Alright, you can see that there are two different materials that is folded into two. Alright, so the front side is facing each other, where I'm going to be marking my material, my chalk rather, is going to be the back side. Alright, so once you're done cutting that out, you make a fold like this. That's the overlap that you usually see on the senator outfits, and then simply iron it down. We are done with the ironing. Now we'll continue. Alright, so from the part that was folded, from the overlap, I'm going to mark 3 inches. Okay, I'm going to mark 3 inches from the part that was folded, and then I'm simply going to make a curve, as you can see, from that point to meet the 3 inches. And it's as simple as that. Very simple. Okay, now I'm just trying to make this place look as smooth as possible. You understand? So now to get there, to know if the mark that you've made is what you need for the neck, see how I'm measuring it round. Now the measurement is 16 inches, which is 8. You can see that I have 8 there already. So this is the perfect neck that I need. Now assuming that the neck is 18, I would have expanded it further. You understand? So the shoulder, this person's shoulder is 19 inches, which is going to be 9.5. Remember that the shoulder is divided into 2, so 9.5. I'm going to mark my 9.5. Alright, at this point I'm going to go down by the same 9.5. Alright, because it is going to be a free senator, I'm using this formula, alright, so that it's not going to be tight on the body. Now at the point where I marked my armhole depth is where I'm going to place my chest measurement. Alright, and then simply make a curve from there to meet the joining. The chest measurement is 42, which is 10.5, but what I marked here is 11.5. That's including 1 inches of sewing allowance. And the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the length for the outfit, and then mark the length and add. I'm going to be adding an additional 2 inches of folding allowance to the length. Alright, so hope you can see that I'm marking the length, and then I will be adding an additional 2 inches of folding allowance. I'm simply going to cut that part off so I know and be specific with what I'm dealing with, or what's the actual size that I need. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be marking is the side vent. Alright, the side opening on the side is going to be about 8 inches. Alright, so I'm going to mark that also, and then at this point I'm also going to place my 11.5 inches. Remember, the chest is 42 inches, which is divided by 4, and it is 10.5 inches plus 1 inches of sewing allowance. That's 11.5 inches, which is what I marked. Alright, now at this point I'm going to mark here also, because I'm trying to separate the front from the back. Also remember that this fabric is folded into 2 places, and there are 2. Alright, this fabric is folded into 2, and there are 2. Alright, because I showed that and I made that specifically in the beginning of this video. Okay, so now at this point I'm going to separate the front from the back. Alright, so what I'll be cutting now is just the front. Alright, now the front is the part that is going to go down. Alright, while the back is going to remain the way it is. Now you see that I'm not cutting at the exact line that I marked, because the back is going to have a little inches in order to overlap properly. Okay, so this is what I mean. The back is supposed to overlap on top of the front. Now I'm going to cut off this other side as well. Alright, so with this, you can now cut a full senator. Alright, so anything that you do not understand, you should probably pause the video and go back a little. Alright, this is all you need to know and all you need to do to cut a senator. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.